Ladies, let me ask you a question. If you walked into a room right now without saying a word, what would your presence say about you? Would it whisper ordinary, or would it declare, that's a woman who knows she's royalty? The truth is, you teach people how to treat you, not with speeches, but with the way you live, carry yourself, and value yourself. A man's treatment of you is often a reflection of the standard you set. If you accept crumbs, you'll never be offered the feast. If you walk like a queen in your spirit, you will never have to beg for a throne. People will offer you the seat of honor. Being treated like a queen is not about manipulation or control. It's not about playing games. It's about becoming the kind of woman whose worth is undeniable, whose presence commands respect because her life reflects value, purpose, and dignity. Today, I want to share with you 8 powerful principles that will shift the way men see you, speak to you, and treat you. These are not tricks. They are truths. Truths that, when lived out, will make you impossible to overlook and unforgettable to anyone who meets you. So get ready, because if you embrace what you're about to hear, you won't just be called a queen. You'll be treated like one. You can't expect others to recognize your value if you haven't recognized it yourself. Self-worth is not something you wait for people to give you. It's something you decide to carry before anyone else notices. Too many women enter relationships hoping a man will complete them or validate their beauty, worth, and importance. That mindset invites disappointment because it hands the power of your identity to someone else. When you truly know your worth, you stop auditioning for love. You no longer feel the need to chase attention or accept behavior that makes you feel less than you are. Think of a priceless diamond. Its value does not come from the buyer. It comes from its rarity, quality, and uniqueness. A diamond doesn't beg to be chosen. It simply exists in its worth, and the one who recognizes its value will pay the price without hesitation. In real life, the women who are most respected are not necessarily the loudest or the most visible. They are the ones who walk into a room with quiet assurance, holding themselves with dignity. They do not dress, speak, or act to win the approval of the crowd. They already approve of themselves. This confidence is magnetic. It draws healthy, secure men because it communicates, I am not here to be saved. I am here to be valued. If you want men to treat you like a queen, you must first treat yourself like one. That means investing in your personal growth, pursuing your goals, and surrounding yourself with people who see your potential. The moment you see yourself as irreplaceable, others will begin to handle you with the same care. Boundaries are not about arrogance. They are about self-preservation. A queen's value is maintained because she knows who to let into her circle and who to keep at a distance. Without standards, you leave the door open for anyone to enter your life, no matter how destructive they may be. When you set standards, you're not being difficult. You're defining the quality of treatment you expect. This can be as simple as deciding how you want to be spoken to, what kind of communication you'll accept, and what kind of behavior you refuse to tolerate. A man will test these boundaries, intentionally or unintentionally, but the way you respond will determine how he treats you long term. For example, if you say you won't tolerate disrespect but laugh it off the first time it happens, you've sent a silent message that your words carry no weight. On the other hand, if you address it firmly and without compromise, you show that you value yourself too much to accept less than you deserve. Consider how luxury brands operate. They never lower their standards to make sales. Instead, they maintain strict quality and pricing, knowing that those who truly value them will meet those standards. Your life works the same way. When you hold your standards, the wrong people will leave, and the right ones will rise to meet them. True queens don't have to shout to prove they're royal. They carry an inner stillness that commands attention without demanding it. Grace is a quiet strength, a balance between confidence and humility that makes people want to listen when you speak and respect your presence when you enter a room. Arrogance pushes people away, grace draws them in. Arrogance says, I'm better than you, but grace says, I know who I am and I don't need to prove it. The difference is profound. Men may be impressed by beauty or power for a moment, but they are moved to long-term respect by consistent grace under pressure. Think about Queen Esther. She was in a position where one wrong move could have cost her life, yet she approached the king with humility and composure. She didn't storm in demanding attention. She let her calm confidence speak for her. That grace gave her favor not only in the eyes of the king, but in the hearts of everyone who knew her. In everyday life, grace shows up in your reactions. It's in the way you speak when someone tries to provoke you, the way you handle unfair criticism, and the way you treat people who can do nothing for you. A woman who can remain poised while others lose control is unforgettable. Her restraint makes her stand out in a world where drama and overreaction are the norm. Physical beauty may open a door, but inner strength keeps it from closing. Outer beauty is seasonal. Time, stress, and life experiences can alter it, but a strong spirit is ageless. Inner strength is the ability to remain steady when circumstances are unstable, to stand firm in your values even when pressure tries to bend you. A woman with inner strength is not easily swayed by flattery, threats, or temporary emotions. She makes decisions based on wisdom, not desperation. Men respect women who can be relied upon during crises, not just admired in good times. The Proverbs 31 woman is a perfect example. She wasn't just described as attractive. She was a builder, a manager, and a source of stability for her household. She could make business decisions, care for her family, and still have the strength to give to others. That kind of strength is rare, and it inspires deep respect. In real terms, cultivating inner strength means developing skills, knowledge, and emotional stability. It means you have your own life, goals, and resilience so that your identity doesn't collapse when a relationship faces challenges. A man may admire your beauty, but he will protect and value you when he realizes your mind, heart, and spirit are just as powerful as your appearance. The words you speak shape the way others see you. Speech reveals what's in your mind and heart, and men will often treat you according to the quality of your conversation. Speaking with wisdom doesn't mean you never express emotion. It means you control it so your words carry weight instead of regret. When a woman speaks from wisdom, she doesn't need to shout to be heard. Her words are thoughtful, intentional, and timely. They build rather than tear down. Men are drawn to voices that bring clarity and peace, not constant criticism or chaos. That's why the woman who knows when to speak, when to listen, and how to frame her thoughts in a constructive way gains influence without forcing it. An important part of wise speech is avoiding careless language. Gossip, insults, and sarcasm may seem harmless in the moment, but they slowly erode respect. When your words are consistently uplifting, honest, and solution-focused, you become someone whose opinion carries real value. Picture two women in the same workplace. One reacts instantly to every frustration, raising her voice and blaming others. The other addresses problems directly but calmly, offering solutions and protecting the dignity of those involved. The second woman becomes the one people trust, respect, and remember. The same applies in relationships. Wisdom in speech makes you a safe space, and safe spaces are rare treasures. Needy energy pushes people away because it signals that your happiness and self-worth depend entirely on someone else's attention. Men respect women who are whole, women who have a strong sense of self, personal fulfillment, and emotional stability even when they are alone. Wholeness means you are complete within yourself before inviting someone else into your life. It doesn't mean you don't need love or support. It means your identity is not defined by whether you receive it at any given moment. This makes your presence far more attractive because it comes from abundance, not desperation. A whole woman has her own interests, friendships, and goals. She invests in personal growth, pursues her passions, and builds a life she enjoys. This creates a sense of balance and mystery that draws others in. Men are far more inclined to respect a woman who can enjoy her own company and maintain her independence while still being open to partnership. Think about someone who constantly demands reassurance versus someone who radiates quiet confidence. The first drains energy, the second inspires it. When you are whole, you invite a man into your life not because you need him to complete you, but because you want to share your already fulfilling life with him. That choice, rather than desperation, is what earns long-term respect. The way you treat yourself teaches others how to treat you. Self-respect is visible. It shows in the choices you make, the environments you allow yourself into, and the standards you refuse to compromise. If you consistently put yourself in situations where you are undervalued, people will believe that's what you accept. Respecting yourself begins with your inner dialogue. If you speak about yourself in a negative, self-deprecating way, you signal to others that you see yourself as less. On the other hand, when you affirm your strengths, take care of your body, and maintain your dignity in speech and action, you project a standard that others can't ignore. Presentation also plays a role. Dressing with intention doesn't mean being flashy or expensive. It means presenting yourself in a way that reflects the value you place on yourself. When your appearance is neat, your posture confident, and your demeanor composed, people instinctively take you more seriously. Boundaries are another expression of self-respect. Saying no to situations, relationships, and behaviors that conflict with your values communicates that your peace and dignity are not for sale. A man who encounters a woman with that level of self-respect quickly understands that if he wants to be part of her life, he must rise to her level instead of pulling her down to his. A woman anchored in purpose carries a different kind of authority. Purpose gives direction, focus, and meaning beyond romantic connection. When your life is driven by a clear mission, you are not waiting for a man to give you identity. You already have one. Walking in purpose means you have a vision for your life that aligns with your values and passions. You are building something, whether it's a career, a ministry, a creative pursuit, or a legacy. This independence of vision creates admiration because it shows that your fulfillment comes from more than relationship status. Men are inspired by women who know where they're going. This doesn't intimidate the right kind of man. It challenges him to match your drive and support your mission. A purposeful woman is selective because she understands that not everyone can walk the same path she's on. Consider women who have made significant impacts in history and society. They were not simply remembered because of who they married, but because of the work they accomplished, the causes they championed, and the difference they made. When you live with that mindset, you naturally attract those who respect your time, your calling, and your energy. Purpose also protects you from settling. When you know your mission, you are less likely to entertain relationships that distract you from it. You move with intention, and those who enter your life quickly understand they must either support your journey or step aside. Ladies, you are not asking to be treated like a queen. You are becoming one. And when you become one, you won't need to beg for royal treatment. It will be the natural response of those around you. The crown you carry in your spirit will speak louder than any words you say. Remember, A man can only treat you at the level you treat yourself.